Hi guys, I am back with another message from Creator. Before I read it, I want to go over a couple of things that he's put in my heart to talk about, but also just really review some of the messages that he's given us from the past so that we are reminded that these messages are from him and not from me. And I think it's very important for you guys to really understand that, because there's so much going on right now. As he's told us, people are going to be just, there's a lot of tricksters out there. There's a lot of people pretending to be working for the good side, for God, and they're not. They're saying things to build trust. As I talked about in the past, they'll say two truths, but then in there they'll mix up a lie, and that's intentional to cause confusion, to build trust. And then when you get told the lie, you're still going to believe it. So it's very important that right now we're paying attention to the people that we are following, including myself. I tell you guys over and over and over, make sure that you're using discernment, that you don't just take everything in that you're listening to. Pause, ask yourself, does this feel right? Does it ring true? Is it in alignment with creator's creator's word, with his truth? But also remember that if you're relying on what you've been taught, that's not necessarily true. It's what your relationship with God is. And I've been saying this over and over. You need to have a relationship with God so that you can feel into what's true. Because right now there's so much deception going on, so much fear mongering. That is not of God. When we're in God's presence, we have peace, we have faith, we have the ability to use, to discern truth from, lies. So that's why I keep repeating over and over. Make sure that you are in constant relationship with God, and not so much in, what you've been told over and over for years, because all of that is being dismantled. As you guys know by now, God was telling me to share with you guys for years now that the religion and the Bible had been infiltrated. Now it's being talked about. Now it's finally being revealed. I talked about Disney buying the rights, and now they're going to rewrite the Bible again. A lot of people didn't believe, and I get it. We are told things, especially when it comes to our beliefs, to our religion, to what we think is, of God, and then we're told, no, that's not true. It's hard, when we're in a relationship and we're lied to, or we discover that they've been doing us wrong. It's really difficult. So this whole process has not been easy. I get it. But that's why it's very important that you are listening to the right people. And the only way to do that is for you to be right with God. So part of, Creator's message is for you guys to, start really paying attention to, does this feel right? Not, if it feels like you're afraid, start asking, like, where is this coming from? Ask the people that are sharing information, when did that information come out? Where's your source from? Don't just take it as, as face value. And then there's, also all the things that are happening to distract us. Those things are, in my opinion, intentional. Creator said that there was going to be so much happening that we're not going to know which way to look. So whatever's going on with the celebrities right now, I feel it's a big part of it. Yes, I think, it's all part of like what's coming out to the light. I do feel things are being dismantled and being shown to us because we're supposed to know. However, I also feel that partly they're using it now to their advantage. And what I mean by, or who I mean by they are using it to their advantage, is are the people that are above, controlling everything, controlling all the narratives, right? Because they're all connected, they're all tied, is what I've been shown. They all end up, just really serving the same master. I'll say it that way. And it's not the person that you and I believe in or pray to. They have their own person or thing. It's not even a person that they listen to and follow. So these people are pretty much being outed, but then what Creator has shown us a while back is that as the ones in the top were getting discovered, or we were getting closer to revealing them, all these other distractions are happening so that they can go back into their bunkers, their crevices, their caves. I talked about this and I said, they're gonna do that. And I feel a lot of them have. I know I've talked about it several times, but that's because God keeps asking me to bring it up so that they're not forgotten. In fact, what I keep hearing over and over is for us to play this game of, I'm sure many of you guys have played this game before, of where's Waldo, but instead ask where these people are at. So start calling these people out by name, like where is Dr. Fauci, where is Bill Gates, where is so and so, and just go down the line of the people that, especially during the pandemic, were pushing the narrative of what we now know is false, what we now know are hurting a lot of people, have caused a lot of health damage to many people, and in many occasions it's taken people's lives. So when I was talking about that during that whole process, and people were very, very angry at me, none of this was out yet. This was all just given to me by Creator, and he was asking me to shed light on it as much as possible so that the damage was not severe. And I just shared what God put in my heart, and my awareness to share. There was nothing there that could back what I was saying up yet. I mean, there were some doctors talking, but they were being censored. But now, years later, the information is out there. So now the messages that God gave, they're being validated. So everything else that he's been telling us and talking to us about, unfortunately, is being validated. So when I share these, they're not things for me. I'm not sharing it because they're coming from me or it's my opinion. It's just words that God puts in my heart, and I'm just the messenger. And then the other thing is, as you guys listen to these more and more people that are out there, sorry, I'm kind of losing my track here. Let me finish with the God wants us to continue talking about where these people are, because then they're gonna go underground, and they've been doing this for many years. One thing that they are is they're very patient. They'll wait a very long time and then creep back up. So from what I've heard, allegedly, they're lizard people. And you can believe it or not believe it. I do believe it. And they're not human beings like us. So what happens to a lizard when you cut their tail off? It grows back. So a lot of these people, even though they've been quote unquote, injured, or they're being exposed, it's nothing to them, because they're just going to grow their tail back, so to speak. And it's up to us to remind each other of what they did, number one, but also of where they're at, like where are they at, so that they can be held accountable. because they've been doing this for years, and this is why it repeats and repeats every so often, every so many years. It repeats over and over. And what they're doing, what they're so good at doing, is they will send out their their puppets to cause more distraction, to cause chaos, so that they can, as I said many times before, walk out the back door undetected. So that's what's going on right now with what's going on with the celebrities, I feel. Yes, a lot of them are being exposed, but if you pay attention, a lot of them are also not being reprimanded. They're not in jail. They're not, there's no consequences. So pay attention to that. It's like, when do they do the time for the crime? That's not happening. So those are telling signs that all this is just a circus. It's just for show. It's just to keep us content looking over there and not paying attention to what's really going on at the very top. So that's one of the things that God wants us to know. Stop being distracted by the circus and start asking where these people are. There's so many of them. I have to be careful, but what's about to happen in January, there's those people, starts in November, goes through, right? So there's those people, but then there's people on top of those people, but then there's also the actors, and then there's different branches, but they're all connected. So yeah, it's like, these roaches just go everywhere, and you have to fumigate, but then you have to go back and do it again, because then there's the eggs, and then there's the babies, and then so we have to just continue doing it until it's completely cleared. And one thing that I talked about is they want us to be exhausted, they want us to give up, but also the other part to this is the more they expose or allow these celebrities to be exposed, it conditions people to accept whatever they've done, all the crimes that they've committed, to be whatever. So one thing I've noticed is people are sharing the information of what's going on with particularly Diddy right now, because he's the one taking the hits for all of these people. He's the puppet right now. And the more people talk about what he's doing, they just become desensitized. They're detached. They're just sharing the videos. Like, now it's become gossip, as opposed to, look what's going on. He should be held accountable. That's not happening. There's, I can't remember the other actor's name, but he shot somebody on set. Nothing's happened to him, and they just keep doing this. They just continue to do this over and over, and it's like, well, what do we do? And in the meantime, they're hiding in their bunkers, and so nothing's happening with them, and then there's nothing being, nothing's happening with these actors, and it just keeps going over and over, and we're the ones that look crazy running around in circles trying to do something but really not doing anything. So just pay attention to that. Pay attention also to the people that you are following. Do they tell you, like, what are they telling you? Are they telling you just enough to keep you satisfied and content, or are they exposing? Are they giving you names? Are they actually talking about what's going on? Because I've noticed that people will, who are supposed to be working for the good people or for the good side, for God, they'll say only enough to keep people like, they're basically just throwing people a bone with no meat, and they're not really talking. They're not really saying much of like who, and I'm talking about these people who have, allegedly have information, like the behind the scenes information. I'm not talking about people that are just, bringing downloads, which there's also those people. But for the sake of like not getting people confused, I'm talking about, I don't want to say specific names, so I'm trying to refrain from saying that right now, because I'm paying attention to them people right now. But you know what, I am, because then I'm doing what they're doing. So that's what God just told me. So like Juan 07, If you follow him, pay attention to, and I'm not accusing him of anything. I want to clarify. But he kind of says enough, but he doesn't say a lot. And why aren't you saying what you know? Like, I get that there's certain things that you can't talk about because then you expose the plan, but it's not about exposing the plan. It's about just saying what people are doing wrong, like which people are doing the wrong. He won't even do that. And again, I'm not saying that he's good or bad. I'm just noticing this. Okay. And then there's people that are revealing a lot of information that feels like they're really fighting and doing things, for the people. And notice how that feels for you. Is it fear? Like, do you feel fear, or do you feel uplifted? So you're not supposed to be feeling a lot of fear, like, they're fear mongering and saying, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, they're going to attack. Oh, but they're never giving you solutions. Pay attention to that. Because yes, a lot of what we're going through is scary, can potentially become, something that is like we could be in danger. It could escalate to, the infiltration that's happening across the border. That's one of the things that they're trying to do is have, and I talked about this before, put them in place and then potentially have them destroy us from the inside, right? So yes, that is a potential thing to happen. But then if you're not giving people solution or guidance on how to navigate through that, then I would pay attention to that, because ideally you want to be able to support like each other, right? You want to be able to come in community and say, hey, well, if this was to happen, make sure you have this lined up, make sure you have contacts in place. Give people the feeling of, you know what, that could happen, but we're going to be fine, because we're going to build community. We're going to have resources. We're going to have reserves. You need to know that the people telling you all this is also helping you navigate through it, not just instill fear and then just keep you in that state. Because then what that tells me is they're working for the opposing side. Because one of the ways to control the people, and I talked about this before, is to keep them in fear. Because when you keep that person in fear, they're stuck in the fight, flight, or freeze mode, and they can't really think for themselves. They don't really use discernment, and they're looking for outside. They're not going inside. They're not connected to God. They're in the fear, and that's when they're able to control the people. That's when they're able to come in as the rescuers, as the good doers. And so people continue to rely on them. That's not what we want. We want to be able to be self-sufficient, grounded, rooted, guided with God, gathered in community, and know that if something were to happen, we have the ability to stick together and work through all of this. So if people are not telling you that and they're just pushing all the fear stuff, I would question, do you want to continue to listen to that? I've said it before, there's a lot of tricksters. There's a lot of people working for both sides. So just be aware of that. That's something that keeps coming through. So share with me, who are you guys listening to? Who do you guys follow? Where are you guys getting your information? And how does it feel? Like, how does it feel to you when you hear them talk? Does it resonate with you? Are you left feeling anxious afterwards? So really, really start, participating in that way. One thing that I want to say, and this is not validated, this is just something that I heard, just like with the Bible and the religion, when I kept saying, they've been infiltrated, people would be mad at me, nobody would listen to me. But years later, now it's validated that it has been infiltrated. Again, Disney has bought the rights to the Bible, and they're going to rewrite it. So it's out there now. This is something that I just would know. Like, it was a knowing that got put in my heart, in my awareness, that it had been infiltrated so that they could manipulate us, right? Well, this is kind of the same thing. So right now it's probably not out there, but who knows? It may take a while for it to be revealed. And I'm just sharing it with you because I just received this information very recently in a download, which is refrain from using the word Lord when you refer to God. And the reason why is because what I was shown is they use that word to refer to their thing that they worship. That is another infiltration to trick us into using their word to give more energy to that thing instead of God, creator. So you will hear me use the word creator, but because he is God, creator of all things. And I follow a spiritual practice because I've explained this before, but for me, being spiritual encompasses all that God created, all that is love, all that is high vibrational energy. And it is straight source to Christ consciousness. So I'm aware and practicing because, like you guys, for many years, I was told, Lord was associated to God. And it's something that I need to retrain myself with. You guys don't have to. Again, even what I say, if it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it. Throw it away. But again, if I receive this, I'm sharing it with you guys. Because for me, it was kind of like, oh my God, that makes sense. I mean, they use Lord of the Rings, and it's always towards something that feels not uplifting. So, just use the word God. Creator is also a good one because he is creator of all good things. And just pay attention to where you put your words, your energy, because it's creating more of that. With that said, just remember, continue to pray, continue to, build your relationship directly with creator, because that's going to give you the clarity that you need to navigate through these times. 2 dates I want to give you guys. I talked about June 6th. They use the numbers all the time to their, trying to manipulate the energies with the numbers and the days and all of that stuff. Numbers are not bad, is what we do with it. Okay. So June 6th, because it's, if you add the numbers up, then it adds up to 3 6s. 3 6s are not bad. Again, they use it for bad. They assigned it a certain energy and symbol. So, but because we know that that's what they're going to do, then we have to counter it with prayer, with music, with love, things that lift up the energy, because as I said many times, they cannot thrive in God's light, in God's vibration, love, energy. So please make sure that you guys remember to pray June 6th. Now there's another date that also creates those numbers that I feel they're going to try to use, which is June 15th. So those two dates, I'm going to ask that you guys pray. I mean, you should be doing this every single day because it really dismantles things. Some people say, oh, nothing ever happened. Oh, that date came and went and nothing happened. Good. That's probably because we did, override what they were trying to do. And that's the point of it. We want to override and dismantle whatever they were trying to do. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that we received wrong information. No, it's that God gave us information ahead of time with plenty of time, and together we stopped that from happening. And in fact, I know that happened several times. I've been shown that together we were able to stop and dismantle things that could have potentially been way worse. They've been intercepted several times. That doesn't mean that they don't have more things up their sleeves. As I've said before, the border situation, they have people everywhere planted, just ready to take the direction, right? Waiting for the green light. Well, let's continue to pray that they get dismantled, that they get discouraged, that they find God, that God speaks to them, and that they do the right thing, that they go back home, that they don't take their orders. Let's continue to pray that the Holy Spirit touches their heart and that they remember that they're God's children. I say this over and over, that they remember that they are God's children, that they feel the love, that they feel the light, and that they do not do anything that they do not cause anything that could be, you know, potentially devastating. So stay praying. Very, very important. The last thing before, let's see. Okay, so the last thing that I want to say is there was somebody that asked about whether I can talk about entities and energies, you know, low vibration. If you do not know, I do specialize in doing clearings, especially traditional clearings. I use herbs and different things to clear the energy, but also to fight off entities, right? To clear the entities from people. And so I was asked if I would do a workshop on that. So I am going to have it this Saturday. If you're interested, I will leave the information below, and you can check it out. Hopefully you guys can join, because it's not just, you know, something that I do for my practice, but it's a good thing for you guys to understand, like the energies and stuff, because right now we're experiencing all that. This whole battle has been a spiritual battle, and all that evil is low vibration. They're entities, they're dark entities. And so it's a very good workshop for you guys to take, to learn how to keep yourselves grounded, but also to navigate through these times. So I will leave that information below. And other than that, I'm going to read the message. And it is, I have actually already shared this on social media, but I want to make sure it reaches many. So here it is. Spiritual people, communities, and those who claim to be serving Creator but are selfish and self-serving are being revealed and dismantled. If you have gained using the name of Creator, God, and have not shared that prosperity, your seeds will not bear fruit. Those who prosper and share their harvest will have eternal prosperity. Many have been given a chance to extend a hand, but turned people away with greed, allowing their ego to lead. You will remember those you turned away, for I had sent them. Your prosperity was given by me for you to do good unto others, to spread and pollinate each other. There is plenty, and has always been, but greed has made you destroy each other. When you deny one another, you are denying me, for I am within you. Remember this as things escalate. You will be faced with temptation, fears, and they will influence your actions. Make sure those actions are in faith, with my love and from my word. If you do, you will be glorious, victorious, and wealthy, but you must remain in the light and the path, and in the path that is righteous. So this is why your relationship with God is very, very important, because it will help you discern who these people are that are, you know, just pretending to be of service, and they're not helping community. And God's showing who these people are. He is, you know, pretty much outing the people that claim to be of service to the community and to him, but are only serving themselves, are only serving their pockets, and they're not helping. And so God's saying that if you've gained in his name and you're not helping, that will be taken away from you. But also you're going to be exposed, just like all these other people. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys. Do all the things, continue to do your detoxes. I know I haven't given you guys you know, any more things, but I think it's important that you do it every 3 to 6 months. So it's not something that you just do once and that's it. Because people are shedding, because, you know, things are in our foods, in our air, in our water, it's very important that you keep your system clean and continue to do this until the cycle of it is flushed out. And that's just kind of what I'm showing right now. I feel like I don't know, maybe a couple more years for sure to continue detoxing on a regular basis until all you know what, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm trying to feel into like how long. Honestly, just do it as long as you can. It's not, you can't detox too much, like meaning you can't, your body can't be clean, like too clean, right? So you detox as much as you can, but you do have to do it right. That's one thing that I do emphasize, and I ask that if you guys are not familiar with how to detox, reach out and get a professional to help you guys with the detox. I do this in my practice. I help my clients because you are supposed to do it in a certain way so that you don't shock your body with a lot of toxins, excuse me. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Till next time.